A quick word about Luka Modric as well, because of course he went on to bigger and much better things at Real Madrid. He's their most decorated player now, which is absolutely frightening. Yeah. And of course was at one stage the greatest player on the planet, the Ballon d'Or winner. Yeah. What type of person was Luka?
Great guy.
Go on.
Lovely guy. He was one of the lads. I think what helped Luka was that he had we had core Luka as well there, and Crenshaw at the club. So that really helped Luka to kind of feel settled and feel part of the squad. Actually, Luka and core Luka, they used to stay in each other's rooms. So when we used to have hotels for away games, they used to sleep in the same room together rather than separately.
Okay,
they were that close to each other.
So usually you would have separate rooms.
Yeah, we all have our own rooms.
Because I hear that I roomed with him, but that's stopped now, is it?
Yeah, that's stopped years ago. But they were that close. Their friendship was that close. They used to just share each other's rooms and that. But as I say, Luka was, he was one of the boys. The lads loved him, and I can't believe he's still going now. To say that I played with him, I retired in 2012, and he's still going, still at the top of his game. It's unbelievable. But what a player! And I think with Luka, naturally with small players that are central midfielders in England, what we tend to do is say they can't play in the central positions, and you put them out on the left. So we kind of tuck him in off the left. It was only when we actually put Luka in the central position where we saw the best of him. And he wasn't so much a number 10. He was more of a player that liked to pick the ball up off the defenders, off the back four. And once we realised that, that's when we saw the real Luka.
Just a very quick word. We've got so much to cram in. We'll probably go over on the back of this answer, but it doesn't matter. We've got you in the studio. I'm just curious. So it popped in my head. There was a game at the end of the season. Spurs were playing Man City. Also, a lot of Spurs fans they were split. They wanted Spurs to lose because otherwise it could have meant Arsenal would have become the Premier League champions and so on. And that's all down to what it was like as a Spurs player at the time, understanding that rivalry between them and Arsenal, right? Because so many foreigners are involved in the game now. Some perhaps don't understand what it means to be a Spurs fan up against an Arsenal fan and so on. I'm just wondering, you were at Spurs. Spurs is your team, right?
Yep.
You were at Spurs when George Graham was manager, synonymous with Arsenal. Was that a weird time for you? Was that tough to take that Arsenal?
I was too young.
Okay.
I was 17, 18 when George Graham was the manager. So at that point, I'm only thinking about trying to get my career going.
Right. He was your first manager,
He was my first manager, yeah. He gave me my debut. So, I wasn't really thinking of anything to do that. I think maybe that was for the fans. As players, you just get on with it, regardless. Once a manager comes in, he's your manager, and you listen to him and get on with it.
talkSPORT Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.